could be easy.
Hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Jaden. What's up, Molly? Vontae. When I hear that song, what the heliante, I think of Ante. Because heliante is something we would say. Hi, Panda. What's up, Ems? BMW. What's up, Retro? Hi, Galactic. What's up, Naki? Naki. Hey, guys. How was your day? Oh my gosh, it's Friday. It's Friday. When are we going on a date? When we can go to Nobu. Do you got it like that? I'm just kidding. Hi. Like a real one? Hello? Chat, should I say yes? Hello, everyone. Eurovision. What is that? Are you talking about football this early in the stream? It's not even 7:05. Everyone, please double tap, double tap, double tap. Oh God. Soccer? Bruh. He's like, no, definitely not. Hey guys, welcome in. Get nice and cozy. Press like on the way to getting cozy. Today we're gonna be having an astro vibe, a cosmo vibe. It's a music tournament. What's up, Jay? Hey guys. Hey everyone, welcome to the stream. Happy Friday. My name is Jalie. Just kidding. Hi everyone. Hello. Finally back. Most of the time when Jay comes into chat, she's like, I'm back for real this time. I ain't leaving. What's up? I hope you're doing well. Hope you guys have had an amazing week so far. It's the weekend, we turning up. It's the weekend, we turning up. What's up, Cardo? Why is Naki mad? Oh, Lord. What am I doing? I'm just chilling. I just started the stream. Vibing. Just vibing. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I forgot to grab something. I'm back. Hi, everyone. Okay, so today we are having our first ever Astro topic day. So we're going to be talking about things that are going on in the universe. All right. Who knows what the JWT stands for in the title of the stream today? Thank you, Cardo. What's up, Cece? Yeah, I do through Streamlabs OBS. Yes. Your senior friends, I feel like everyone's going to graduation today. Do you guys know anybody graduating? Wait, I think Nessie graduates. Let's text Nessie. Oh my God, I think she graduates either today or yesterday. Oh my God, wait. Hi, boo. Congratulations on your grad. I think she told me it was today, guys. My elephant memory brain is telling me that it was either yesterday or today. Hold on, I have to check because then she also, I don't want to miss that, you know? It's important. What's up, Hayes? Oh my gosh. Hey, Hayes.
Oh my God.
Where you been, girly pop? We've missed you. What's up, Dino? Yeah, middle school counts. Shoot, a graduation's a graduation. Did we share the stream to the Discord? We missed you the other day, BMW. I hope you're well. I saw you. BMW came and he was trying to defend me on my on my comment section. The way that he talks is so like don't our other mod, as our other mod explained in his paragraph. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing the stream. Shout out to Jaden and Galactic. Thank you so much. Super excited today. I was gonna do something. I was checking Instagram. Guys, I took a selfie for the first time today in a long time. Oh my gosh. I think it's today. I think it's today. Wait. Is your graduation? Oh my gosh. Is your graduation today? I think it's college for her, guys. I think it's like university. Is there graduation today? I think I remember you telling me either today or yesterday. Also, the cap and gown on Instagram stories is so fire. She has a Dominican like sash. It's so cool. Oh my God. Oh, that is so awesome. Yeah, what a chapter. A lot of things going on right now. School dances, well, not dances, but a lot of graduation ceremonies happening. So that's so cool. It's like such a celebratory time, guys. Summer is here practically. It was like 100 degrees in Florida this week. I got a new phone. Oh. So yeah, I texted Nessie. She should be graduating. All right, y'all. So I do have some food here that I'm going to be like nomming on. We're going to go ahead and get started by opening up the Discord. I think I got a few questions this week. Oh, guys, look. I got this new battery. I got this new Anchor battery for my trip to New York. Look, isn't it so cute? So this is going to be like, or is it called a power bank, right? I got it for my New York trip, you know, because it's coming, y'all. It's like in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. Yo, and the flies are still thriving. The flies are still thriving, chat. Anyway, and so what the crazy thing is, I don't notice them or anything until the stream goes on. It might be the light attracting them to my room or something. I don't know. Why is Naki mad? All right, guys, we're about to get into the Discord. The Discord. Here we go. Here we go. Here we are. Thank you so much again for sharing the stream today. All right, let's go ahead and start. Today's not a hot topics day. Today is an astro vibe, but we could skirt by there. I am gonna answer Ask Jalie. All right, when was the other stream? I think I answered that one. Do you get access to Realm with the... Yeah, I answered that. Are you going to apply to Streamer University? I saw the type of streamers that are applying to Streamer University, and it doesn't... It's not in my realm, guys. They're not going to have someone that is just starting a new... like a new niche or new category get on Streamer University. I think they just want people that, you know, are established and are doing what they're doing. All right, but maybe next time if there's another one and we get some motion. Hi, Steph. Because I was killing him in Marvel Rivals and being toxic in Bed Wars. Oh shoot, he got you on. He got you on Fortnite. Hi, Cece. So I think Foppa, I think Foppa has access. Okay, period. All right, Dino W stream needs to go in uni chat next time. Jalie, you should watch Eurovision. Oh God, would you ever watch One Piece? Absolutely. I really want to do that. Actually, it's on my bucket list before I die. Galactic, do anything like that, I'll block you for good. Dang. All right, so I guess that's it. Let's see what's been going on in the chat. I mean, what's been going on in the chat? All right, since I last was on stream. Say seed one more time, I'm gonna crash out. I know, I was majority of my chest content's missing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, if you're gonna take something, put it back. Sheesh. And this is Dino saying sorry for like the 100th time. Juan sends over some kitties. I love that. They look actually so healthy and unbothered. Unbothered. I have a cute little selfie with Luna that I just took. I was in between the one that I posted and this one. Look. Where is it? Where is she? Where is she? Look. I just took a selfie with Luna. She's so cute. How are you guys doing? How was your week? Anything good? Anything juicy? Any drama? Oh, we do have some advice. Maybe we should save that for tomorrow. But I did see some things popping up in advice. Molly, did you get your whole computer situation like figured out? You didn't answer me if it was actually the new one or the old one. See? Okay. Hi, Jose. It was a new one. So yeah, that probably means your graphics were too high. It was a new one? Cool. Oh, you didn't know you could use a controller? Yeah. That's how I'm able to use mine. Actually, speaking of controller, I haven't seen my headphones anywhere in a hot minute. I think the last time I wore them was to the gym. I gotta find them. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand. Oh, yeah. What? This is like... I'm so jelly. Because that's like 4 cookies. At least. And 4 chicken sandwiches. You know how good a chicken sandwich is? Actually, I think I did. It wasn't last night. It was the other night. I went to Chick-fil-A. I'm like, what the heck? How did you go to Chick-fil-A on the same day? There's a new user, what is it? There's a new user interface for Android. Are you guys liking it? Why so many wipes? You guys like it? I feel like it's a lot more like, it looks like iPhone. They say iPhone copy Samsung or whatever. Android, I don't think that's true. I don't know. That's looking like an iPhone to me. Oh, you got the highest bio EOC grade out of your class? Oh, that's awesome. Okay, period. As you should. You bring home nothing less. Bring to the chat nothing less. 2 hours late to school. Sometimes you feel like in trouble. For one time, I woke up late and my mom went to work, and this is when I was still in elementary school. In elementary school, I had to ride my bike to school, or like I finally got a bike at the end of the year. But my mom woke me up. I got ready. She left for work, and I was supposed to leave in like 10 minutes, and I completely like fell back asleep. I woke up almost at 10 a.m. and I was crying all the way to school. Like, I'm about to get my ass beat. You know, like, I'm going to get written up. I'm going to go to detention for the first time ever. And I signed into school. I had to go to the nurse's office and get a hall pass or whatever. And I was crying. And she's like, oh, it happens. Like, you're going to be okay. Like, the roads were empty. There was nobody in the car lane. Like, it was 10 a.m. Like, school started an hour and a half. That happened to me. You're always like 5 minutes late. Taking away taxes for people that less than make 150K. That actually, I really like that. When I heard that, I was like, I'm gonna have money. Yo, they literally take 40% of your paycheck right now. Oh, I'm echoing? I don't know why, guys. I don't know why. Is it still echoing like right now? It shouldn't be. Let me know if I'm still echoing. Testing, testing. Testing. Trump is doing good. I think he's doing something for sure. I can't wait to see everything actually happen, you know? Like talk is cheap. I want to see my paycheck 40% bigger because I don't have to pay taxes. 40% more money in your bank account. That means all of you guys that have parents that get the regular paychecks, y'all gonna be rolling in V-Bucks soon. Use code Jalie. Oh, is it a big, beautiful bill? The difference between us is in the UK is at least we actually know who's in charge over here. Just kidding, just kidding. It's such a thing, a monarchy. Like, isn't your king like dying? Imagine having a president. Isn't he like dying? What's the tea with that? Like, is he gonna be okay? Do they still look at kings and queens over there as like a religious, like holy? Like the kings and queens are holier than everyone else? Or how does that work over there? And why do I get, aw? Why do I get so many? What in the hecky? That is so cute. I only get communicated with when I'm on stream, I swear. On what? Has more optics than, oh, so you're saying they're, yeah, like, but who makes the decision? The church over there in the UK? Maybe we should have that as a hot topic one day. That'd be interesting. And then we can have Avante educate us on how it actually is. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for being here. We're just getting started today. I have some pretty interesting talking. I mean, I'm asking you questions. You're not responding. Like, trying to have a conversation here. It's one-sided, so I can only just say what I know. I don't think the UK knows much about the you know, typically in school, I don't think you guys are talking about US politics, so maybe you should keep your politics over there. Anyway, so period. All right, Stephanie sent over some topics, but actually I have some for you guys that I picked aside here for you the other day. Okay, some hot juicy stuff. This is not the 1700s. Well, the prime minister. Oh, okay. Prime minister. Oh God. Yeah, that's why drugs are bad, y'all. Don't be like Dino. He's fried. All right. Anyway, drugs are bad. Okay. So, okay. Period. All right. So, what do we want to start with? Let's see here. I sent over a couple things. We're gonna check out the James Webb. All right, so this is the one that I pulled up the other day. I think Stephanie sent over a version of this one. All right, so today is all about astrology, the sky, the universe, the cosmos. Okay, so feel free to send over anything in the Astro Lounge channel on Discord. Okie dokie. Feel free to send anything over there. Okie dokie. All right, hammies, we will see you later. You're incriminating yourself. I don't know. Listen, I don't know if it's true, but all I have to say is drugs are bad. Okay? Period. All right, guys, our first article. Let's go. Sorry, Astro's howling. She's just so extra. Read all about it. Alrighty, y'all. This article says the universe will die much sooner than expected. Interesting. I had no idea when the universe was gonna die previously anyway. All right. The universe is poised to die much faster than previously thought, according to new research by Dutch scientists. But there's no great need to panic. We still have 10 to the power of 78 years before it happens. Wait, 10 to the power. So 10 zeros after 78. Is that how 10 to the power? So how many years is that, y'all? Could someone type it out for me? Is that billion or trillion? Or quadrillion? Years before it happened. That's a one with 78 zeros. No. 78 zeros. Oh shoot. When was it originally? However, that is a major revision from the previous estimate of 10 to the power of 1,100 years. Oh Lord. The research paper from Radboud University, published in the Journal of Cosmology and Astroparticle Physics. Oh, I love that. We should check out that journal. The final end of the universe is coming much sooner than expected, but fortunately, it still takes a very long time. Wait. But fortunately, it still takes a very long time. Like, we're going to die like 100,000 times or 1,000,000 times over before that happens. If human existence is even alive by then, we might look like aliens. A trio of scientists at Radboud set out to calculate when the most durable celestial bodies, white dwarf stars, will eventually die out. They based their calculations on Hawking radiation, named after the celebrated British physicist Stephen Hawking. Hawking postulated in the mid-1970s that black holes leak radiation, slowly dissolving like aspirin in a glass of water, giving them finite lifetime. That means that they die. They have a death. The Radboud scientists extended this to other objects in the universe, calculating the evaporation time depends on density. This enabled them to calculate the theoretical dissolution of the longest lasting body, the white dwarf. By asking these kinds of questions and looking at extreme cases, we want to better understand the theory, and perhaps one day we can unravel the mystery of Hawking radiation, said co-author Walter van Swielekom. Humankind needn't to worry much about the end of the universe. Unless we escape planet Earth, we'll be long gone. Scientists think that our sun will be too hot for life in about 1 billion years, boiling our ocean. In about 8 billion years, our star will eventually expand toward the Earth, finally gobbling up our by then barren and lifeless planet and condemning it to a fiery death. Dang. Shedding light on dark energy. The research comes just weeks after scientists released new findings that may also shed light on the fate of the universe. Researchers in March said new data shows dark energy, a mysterious force that takes up 70% of the universe, may actually be weakening. If dark energy is constant, an idea first introduced by Albert Einstein in his theory of relativity. Scientists say our universe may continue to expand forever, growing ever colder, lonelier, and still. If dark energy ebbs with time, the universe could one day stop expanding and then eventually collapse on itself. And that's called the Big Crunch. Ew, why does that sound so... Like, you guys know the Big Bang? They're calling it, like, the Big Crunch. Now, there's the possibility that everything comes to an end, said cosmetologist and study collaborator Mustafa Ishaq Boushaki in the University of Texas at Dallas. Would we consider that a good or bad thing? I don't know. It'd be crazy to see something like that. Oh, that's the actual sky, but with the time lapse. That's so cool. Scary science theories. Search the great attractor. Okay, send it over in the Discord, y'all. Here's the Discord if you guys have more universe related news that you guys want me to cover. All right. Other efforts around the globe have an eye on dark energy and aim to release their own data in the coming years, including the European Space Agency's EUCLID mission and the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in Chile. Launched in 2023, the ESA's 1.5 billion Euclid, I think it's Euclid, space telescope is equipped with near-perfect 3 feet 11 wide primary mirror and 2 instruments, a 600 megapixel visible light camera, and a 64 megapixel infrared imaging spectrometer. The telescope's field of view is roughly twice the size of the full moon. Oh, interesting. Well, it's really good to like be able to apply new information with all this new technology that we have, and ultimately this doesn't matter to us. I feel like this stuff is obvious, and we will never know, like, what is time, right? What is time? Time is ever changing, in my opinion. Okay, let me get to work with you. Hey, yeah, at least I ain't gonna be alive for it. Exactly, yeah. Let's check out some of the other... I think this is the one that, like, stuck with me. And then I also have James Webb telescope. We can pull up the James Webb. We can pull up the James Webb telescope. All right, let's check out this one. Astronomy and space news. Oh, okay. This is just in general. I love that. All right, guys, let me know if one of these sound interesting. Laser ultrasound used to reveal the elasticity of space rock for the first time. Could dark matter be evolving over time and not dark energy? Tracking down inhalation and photons could lead to unique binary systems. Oh, that's interesting. Advancing Martian geology mapping with machine learning tools. You know what's crazy? I think I used to go on this. It was like I found this through Google. And there's a bunch of stuff here. Look, more news. Hubble spies galaxy with rosy pink hue. Oh, shoot. We need to look into that one. I don't know. You know, like, I know some words. Hubble captures the large Magellanic Cloud. Gosh, all these words that I've never ever said out loud. Martian resource. Click the 3 dots in the top right. Wait, what are we talking about? How do I find the link? It's usually... So yeah, if you're on your phone, there's usually like 3 little dots like on the top corner that'll like have you... It'll say share or something like that. It'll say share, and then you just have to say copy, or like copy URL, like something like that will pop up, and then you just paste it. Or you could just take a screenshot and I can look up the topic. All right, this is a lot of stuff here. So let's look into astronomy. Hubble Hubble spies galaxy with a rosy pink hue. Is this an actual photo from the James Webb Telescope? Like what? You guys know that, okay, so I had like a whole James Webb Telescope like when it first like launched. When was it? Um didn't the James Webb like launch in like 2020 something or something like that, right? 2020 or 20 something? I was checking updates every single day when the James Webb Telescope like first launched and it had like a path. And um one of the scientists that worked at NASA that was like describing everything that's going on, he said that the space is so dark and so vast that the human eye cannot capture the actual color that it is. And that's the same way that their cameras work. Like when they take photos of something, like it's probably like all one color, but they use like a heat scale to color it. You know, like it's based off of the color that they give it, and it's usually the color or the images that are shared with the public have the map of color that they use. So it's not really pink. You know, you would, first of all, you wouldn't be able to perceive this with your own eyes, right? Like you just couldn't do it. Um just like I wonder, like if we're out in the, like if we're in a spaceship and we're looking down on Earth, is the Earth really round, or is that just our fish eye effect? You know what I'm saying? Like is that just like our eyeball that is making it look round? And like I don't know, like there's something about the whole thing that I'm kind of like, I'm really good with logic and common sense and things, but something is not making sense to me. How could we get so far from the Earth that we could perceive the whole thing within our eyes? Because we can't even look down the street. Like I don't know, like when we're here on Earth, like, you know. Well, I believe a bunch of things are round. Like, for example, like our cells are round, right? Or is that just the telescope? Is that this telescope's perception that makes it look round? Like the picture of this is taken by a round like camera that imitates like our eyeballs. So, I don't know, like maybe we can look up like flat earth stuff. With the but cameras imitate our eyeballs, you know? Uh, well, there's no square eyeballs, you know? Like unless I don't know. Like how could we perceive like just our human eyes and our human brains? How could we perceive things accurately with our teeny tiny microscopic eyeballs compared to the size of the earth? Like just think about it. Everything would look 3D or like circular because our eyes are circular. Anyway, it's something that I haven't quite decided on yet. I don't think I've looked it up enough. So maybe we can look into that. I'm not saying that the earth isn't round. I'm just saying that whatever pictures or videos that we see from space aren't actually accurate. You know? You know? Anyway, so cool. They found another galaxy and they colored it pink. Just kidding. It's usually, like I said, they have a scale of how like temperature of things and then they apply the filter. It's like a filter. As humans, we classify stuff and determine stuff based on how we see it. Therefore, in our perception, the earth is indeed round. Yep. Didn't doubt it. I'm just questioning how accurate is our perception is all. Okay. This is a juicy one. There's growing please. All right. Period. From fizz.org. There's growing evidence of possible life on other planets. Here's why you should still be skeptical. I, for one, before I even read this article, would like to say that I believe that there is life elsewhere besides Earth. I don't think Earth is a 1 in gajillion, bajillion, babillion to the 10th, 100th power, the only particle planet with life, okay? Just like Horton Hears Who. That's literally my whole thing. Anyway, a team of researchers has recently claimed that they have discovered a gas called dimethyl sulfide at the atmosphere of K2-18b, a planet orbiting a distant star. The University of Cambridge team's claims are potentially very exciting because on Earth, at least, the compound is produced by marine bacteria. Oh, interesting. The presence of this gas may be a sign of life on K2-8b2, but we can't rush to conclusions just yet. K2-18b has a radius of 2.6 times that of the Earth, a mass nearly 9 times greater, and orbits a star that is 124 light years away. We can't directly tell what kinds of large-scale characteristics it has, although one possibility is a world with a global liquid water ocean under hydrogen-rich atmosphere. Oh, one possibility is a world with a... Oh my gosh, just I feel like tongue twisters. Such a world might well be hospitable to life, but different ideas exist about the properties of this planet and what that might mean for a DMS signature. What does DMS stand for? Claims about the detection of life on other planets go back decades. In the 1970s, one of the scientists working on the Viking mission to Mars claimed that his experiment had indicated there could be microorganisms in the Martian soil. However, these conclusions were widely refuted by other researchers. You guys think these researchers are being paid off? Or are they the type of researchers that's like, well, it may have been contaminated? You know, like, how can we prove that that is from there? You know, in 1996, a team said that microscopic features resembling bacteria had been found in the Martian meteorite ALH-84. Oh, God. However, the subsequent studies cast significant doubt on the discovery. Why doubt? Why doubt? Like, I don't understand. Like, let it flow. Let it flow. Hi. What's up, everyone? Apparently, they found life in a different signs of marine life on a different planet because they detected gas, a specific type of gas that only marine biology emits. So either water creatures or just water over there. Since the early 2000s, there have also been repeated claims about the detection of methane gas in the atmosphere of Mars, both by remote sensing by satellites and by in situ observations by rovers. Methane can be produced by several mechanisms. Thank you for 2 months, Travis!
Travis Jackson said he will tune in.
Why can't I hear that?
Emoji. Fearful face emoji. Fearful face emoji.
Thank you! I put yours in uni chat. Thank you, everyone. W. Travis, thank you for 2 months. All right. Such sources are described by scientists as being biotic. Other sources of methane, such as volcanoes and hydrothermal vents, don't require life and are said to be abiotic. Not all of the previous claims for evidence of extraterrestrial life involve the red planet. In 2020, Earth-based observations of Venus' atmosphere implied the presence of low levels of phosphine gas. Because phosphine gas can be produced by microbes, there was a speculation that life might exist in Venus's clouds. However, the detection of phosphine was later disputed by other scientists. I see. I don't get that. Like, what? I mean, the person that I don't know. But also, I feel like there's also pressure to find like life on other planets. Like, I feel like there's pressure pressure from scientists, sorry, to find life elsewhere, right? Just like they want to prove the UFO, which we need to have a UFO day. You guys want to do that tomorrow? We can like look up like UFO like documentaries and like stuff on YouTube of like all of the freak of nature like things that have happened. Okay? And I'm pretty sure didn't Trump release that there's actually like unidentified like airplanes, like what is it? What is the abbreviation? Unidentified UAE, something like that. Something, not UAE, something like that. It's an abbreviation for like flying saucers, basically. This defined this is defined as an object, substance, and or pattern whose origin specifically requires a biological agent. In other words, any detection requires all possible abiotic production pathways to be considered. Wow, way to use the most longest words to say that basically they found stuff. They found a certain type of gas that's only produced by a certain type of like life. Okay. UFO. Oh my God, yes. I had my blonde moment. I just had a blonde moment. Yes, it's called UFO. UFO. Unidentified flying object. Thank you. But there's another abbreviation, but yeah, that one was pretty much it. In addition to this, scientists face many challenges in the collection, interpretation, and planetary environmental context of possible bio-nature gases. Understanding the composition of planetary atmosphere from limited data collected from light years away is very difficult. That's what I'm saying. They're like, okay, they're like, you bring evidence and then they're like, prove to me why this is not evidence. Like they do it backwards, right? They do it backwards to kind of disprove it, right? It could be right in front of them, but they're like, okay, let's break this down kind of thing. And they're like, yeah, that's not conclusive. Therefore, thus, you would have to fly all the way back there, bring a camera, and make sure that you had a process done or something like, yeah. A few years ago, my dad said that when he was a kid, he was outside at night with someone and said UFOs, and I don't know if it's true or not. I've heard and seen very weird things, and we can get into that when we do. Well, we'll do like a UFO topic day. Maybe our Fridays can be like fun, like topics. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it can be anything. In order to characterize the atmospheres of exoplanets, we obtained what are called spectra. These are the fingerprints of molecules in the atmosphere that absorb light at specific wavelengths. Once the data has been collected, it needs to be interpreted. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Astronomers assess which chemicals or combinations thereof best fit the observations. It is an involved process and one that requires lots of computer-based work. The process is especially challenging when dealing with exoplanets, where available data is at a premium. Once these stages have been carried out, the astronomers can then assign a confidence to the likelihood of a particular chemical being real. In the case of the recent discovery from K2-18b, the authors claim that the detection of a feature that can only be explained by DMS with a likelihood of greater than 99.9%. In other words, there's about a 1 in 1,500 chance that this feature is not actually there. That's a very small amount. While the team behind the recent result favors a model of K2-18b as an ocean world, another team suggests it could actually have a magma molten rock ocean instead. It could also be a Neptune-like gas dwarf planet with a small core shrouded by a thick layer of gas and ices. Both of these options would be much less favorable to the development of life, raising questions as to whether there are abiotic ways that DMS can form. All right, just one last section. But yeah, that's exactly what I said, is that once they get the data, they try to disprove it and say, okay, what is the likelihood that this is not actually real? A higher bar, but but is the bar higher for claims of extraterrestrial life than for other areas of science? That's what I'm saying. Like when it comes to like the people, like scientists, and like I think our culture is like pushing for proof so much that either the people collecting these data feel like pressured to prove something or say that this is indefinite, and then there's like thousands of other science like universities and students and professionals that are trying to like disprove it. So there's way more people trying to disprove it. In a study claiming the detection of a biosignature, the usual level of scientific rigor expected for all research should apply to the collection and processing of the data, along with the interpretation of the results. So like in a study, if you don't do something procedurally correct, then it could be like cold hard proof. You can have a freaking UFO's fingerprint, like something extreme, right? And then they'll be like, yeah, but since you didn't use the seal like that you were supposed to for that type of data, therefore that leaves like a huge margin for this data to not be correct. That's just how science is. However, even when these standards have been met, claims that indicate the presence of life have in the past still been met with high levels of skepticism. The reasons for this are probably best summed up by the phrase, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. That's what I was saying. This is attributed to the American planetary scientist, author, and science communicator Carl Sagan. While on Earth there are no known means of producing DMS without life, the chemical has been detected on a comet called 67-P, which was studied up close by the European Space Agency's Rosetta spacecraft. DMS has even been detected in the interstellar medium, the space between stars, suggesting that it can be produced by non-biological or abiotic mechanisms. Basically, it's saying that, hey, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's proof of life, because this also can produce that, is basically what it is. Given the uncertainties about the nature of K2-18b, we cannot be sure if the presence of this gas might simply be a sign of non-biological processes we don't yet understand. The claimed discovery of KMS on K2-18b is interesting, exciting, and reflects huge advances in astronomy, planetary science, and astrobiology. However, it is possible implications mean that we have to consider the results very cautiously. We must also entertain alternative explanations before supporting such a profound conclusion as the presence of extraterrestrial life. So yeah, like I said, if someone had like plain proof, like video proof, physical proof, etc., there's going to be like thousands of more people trying to prove that it's fake, that it's likely fake, or something else that we're not seeing. And I feel like it's like a gaslight. Like science is all about gaslighting. Is that where the term gaslight came from? Because like you guys have seen those videos. Please don't spam. Your ankle hurts? What happened with your ankle? Oh no, you fell down the stairs. Yeah. But yeah. Mods. What's up, Jay-Z? Alright, you guys said he sent some stuff in the Discord. Alright, let's see. We do have another one here. I think this is just like a resource. What is this? Geek Fusion TV? What is this? Oh. BMW actually sent something this morning. Oh, this is cool. Oh, shoot. Okay, we're gonna check this out. Okay, this is something else. So NASA's Webb. Oh, like James Webb Telescope, guys. NASA's Webb lifts veil uncommon but mysterious type of exoplanet. Interesting. Though they don't orbit around our sun, sub-Neptunes are the most common type of exoplanet, or planet outside our solar system, that have been observed in our galaxy. These small gassy planets are shrouded in mystery and often a lot of haze. Now, by observing exoplanet TOI 421b, NASA's James Webb Space Telescope is helping scientists understand sub-Neptunes in a way that is not possible prior to the telescope's launch. Yeah, we're gonna look into some actual James Webb images here in a bit. What's up, Coyote? Steph lost 99 HP. Fall damage. I had been waiting my entire career for Webb so that we could meaningfully characterize the atmosphere of these smaller planets, said principal investigator Eliza Kempton of the University of Maryland in College Park. By studying their atmospheres, we're getting a bigger understanding of how sub-Neptunes formed and evolved, and part of that is understanding why they don't exist in our solar system. Interesting. Small, cool, shrouded in haze. The existence of sub-Neptunes was unexpected before they were discovered by NASA's retired Kepler Space Telescope in the last decade. Now astronomers are trying to understand where these planets came from and why they're so common. Before Webb, scientists had very little information on them. While sub-Neptunes are a few times larger than Earth, they are still much smaller than gas giant planets and typically cooler than hot Jupiters, making them much more challenging to observe than their gas giant counterparts. A key finding prior to Webb was that most sub-Neptune atmospheres had flat or featureless transmission spectra. This means that when scientists observed the spectrum of this planet as it passed in front of the host star, instead of seeing spectral features, the chemical fingerprints that would reveal the composition of the atmosphere, they saw only a flat line spectrum. Astronomers concluded from all of those flat line spectra that at least certain sub-Neptunes were probably very highly obscured by either clouds or hazes. Interesting. So yeah, and when it comes to like picturing these photos from the data, because it's not really photos that James Webb takes, if I'm not mistaken, it's data, right? So these images or data have like a snapshot, right? They'll give you the thing will give you the dimensions and where they detected something, and it's all like code, and then they like transmit the code into an image that we could see. So that's where I said, that connects to what I said earlier, is that we don't really know like how our eyes would perceive the images that are being sent if we were actually there. We're just getting a filtered like coded image, if that makes sense. Cool, have fun. So yeah, it's just more about finding all of this stuff, and yeah, but I feel like that it's really fascinating. All right, so let's look up some images. All right, so this is on NASA. The James Webb Telescope latest images. Here we go. Whoa. Okay, what is this? Oh yeah, let's look at slideshow. What are these? You see, this is what I'm saying. That they take, like, these are incredible. But this is really just like data that's coded. I don't know. This one's really cool. Like, I could literally set that as my background. That's incredible. Might play some GTA. Okay, cool. This looks like something out of Harry Potter. What's up, Austin? How you doing? This is really cool. So another way that you know the James Webb Telescope, or well, at least they told me this, is that when it grabs the data, the camera has a like 6-star, so that's how you know this is a newer image. It has 6 points on lights. Huh. But yeah, guys, that might wrap things up with that. I mean, let's see if we can find some like images, some videos on this stuff. Reading the articles can be a little bit, you know, but let's see if we can find some videos. 9 months ago, do we have anything? Yeah, this is I think the one that we read on. Okay, let's see this one.
Bend space and time to create a gravity.
Do you guys hear this?
What if I told you that the James Webb...
All right, guys, we're about to start watching stuff. All right, here we go.
Space Telescope just detected something that no one can explain. Not NASA, not CERN, not even the quantum AI models trained to simulate deep space anomalies. This isn't a distant galaxy or a faint whisper from the early universe. It's something stranger, closer, more organized, and it's rewriting what we thought we knew about the structure of reality. On April 18, 2025, JWT captured a high-frequency burst echoing from the Perseus cluster. But here's what froze the global scientific community. The signal showed temporal inversion, time running backward, or at least appearing to. And in that moment, the world changed. The Webb telescope had been observing a gravitational lensing event, light from a distant quasar being bent by the mass of a galaxy cluster. Standard procedure. But then the instruments picked up a waveform buried in the lens distortion. At first it looked like a data glitch, but 3 separate instruments, including NR-SPEC and MIRI, recorded the same anomaly. A pulse, cycling every 0.21 seconds, embedded with a symmetry that mirrored itself exactly across the midpoint of each burst. This isn't just rare, it shouldn't be possible. Entropy doesn't run in reverse. Information doesn't naturally flow backwards. And yet here it was, repeating every 12.6 seconds.
I'm eating some
like
veggie pot
clockwork.
stickers.
If this kind of mind-blowing
have, like,
science
2 left,
excites
and I'm
you,
gonna just finish.
make sure to subscribe. We dive into discoveries like this every week. So how did we even detect this? James Webb wasn't designed to find intelligent signals. It was built to peer into the early universe, to read the spectral fingerprints of atmospheres on exoplanets, to study dark matter distribution across time.
Theories
But thanks
or
to a
theories?
collaboration with Deep Signal, a machine learning observatory project, JWT's spectral data is now cross-referenced with a quantum pattern detection algorithm trained on known physical systems and unknowns.
Interesting. You said ain't no E, that's good. What? Veggie pot stickers are fire. You want to see one up close? It's like a veggie one, and it has like those like Korean noodles inside of it, like those clear, crunchy ones. Really good. Scary space theories. Does your T button not work? Or what? Theories. Space is terrifying. Ooh, we should watch that one.
On December 24th, 1968, Apollo 8 made its first orbit around the moon. While the astronauts were coming around the backside of the moon, one of the astronauts, Bill Anders, had taken out his Hasselblad camera to get a picture of the lunar landscape.
I'm
As he
skeptical.
pulled his hands up to take the photo, he saw the Earth in a way that, at the time, only those men had ever seen it. As a ball in the darkness of space. And he took possibly the most influential photo of all time. The photo now known as Earthrise. Earthrise can be described as many things. Influential, important,
I'm
recognizable.
skeptical.
But I would describe it as something different. To me, and to many others, this image this famous, influential image can only be described as terrifying. The blackness of space around the Earth, the visible meteorite craters in the moon, the simple fact that that tiny ball surrounded by the eternity of the cosmos is all of us, are just some of what makes this image absolutely petrifying to me. The fear I feel about this image and images like it is a fear that I'm not alone in. This fear of space has often been referred to as astrophobia.
You guys ever watch that one movie? What is it called? With that one actor, Spectrum. What is it called? There was 2 space movies that released at the same time that scared the crap out of me.
Astrophobia is the fear of space and the celestial bodies that
Yeah,
inhabit
Lost
it.
in Space.
I've covered other fears on this channel, but unlike those other videos, I can confidently say that I have astrophobia. Looking into the void of deep space, or an image of a gas giant several magnitudes larger than Earth surrounded by a pitch black void, these things are horrifying to me. And I'm clearly not alone.
Whoa.
With videos on astrophobia getting millions of views and us knowing more and more about the cosmos every year, this fear of space is something that many people can relate to. But why? Why is space so terrifying to so many people? Well, let's start off with one of the
Unlike
biggest
that with
triggers
the
for
deep
astrophobia,
ocean.
at least for mine. Planets. The planets in our Milky
Planets.
Way and beyond are creepy. They have an almost unsettling tinge to them. Seeing images on the surface of Venus or Mars is oddly unsettling. It feels like the uncanny valley. Mars especially resembles Earth when seen from the ground, but you can always tell that this isn't Earth. This isn't home. But for me at least, the scariest part of these planets isn't their surfaces. What I find most uncanny about these planets is seeing them from space. I think it has something to do with the size and the planet's buildup, but what I find more scary is the darkness they exist in. This horrible darkness that makes the true size of the planet unrecognizable. But you know they're still massive. They look almost like
Wow.
a face peering out of a dark closet, ready to jump at you. The 2 planets I find the scariest are Jupiter and Saturn. The fact that these planets, despite their large size, don't even technically have surfaces is just one of the details that unsettles me about them. The fact that you could simply fall right through them, and the fact that both of these planets are made of heavy, toxic gases, is truly unsettling
I'm
to me.
skeptical.
As
I
a
wanna
kid, I
see
used to have
somebody who's
nightmares about
skeptical.
falling into Jupiter or Saturn. Just knowing that I couldn't breathe in there, and even if I could, the pressure and the toxicity of the atmosphere would most definitely kill me, was something I found terrifying, and still do. Planets like Neptune and Uranus are also scary in their own right. The deep blue contrasts heavily with the blackness of space, and Neptune to me is especially scary considering it's the farthest from Earth, making it feel even more alien. You might have seen maps of the solar system in school that look like this. These maps are good at showing the sizes, but inaccurate when it comes to distance. We tend to group the gas giants together as if they were some sort of system of their own, close by to each other, similar to the distances between Earth and Mars, but that couldn't be further from the truth. This is an actual 2-scale model of the distances between planets.
Dang.
As you can see, Neptune is nearly double the distance that Uranus is from Saturn. Despite that, we tend to group Uranus and Neptune together as the icy, blue, cold planets. These vast distances aren't the only thing that scare me, however. Another thing that really gets me and freaks me out about these planets is their sheer size. Astromegalophobia is the fear of large objects in space. It's another thing that really freaks me out about these planets. Look at Jupiter, for example. The big red spot you can see in most photos of Jupiter is actually a storm that's been raging on for
heard
nearly
that.
350 years, and a
Like a
storm that
endless
is nearly
hurricane.
twice the size of Earth. The sheer size of all these planets scares me. They seem almost menacing, something so inconceivably large that if I was standing in front of it, I would barely see past the base. Just knowing that these celestial bodies are out there somewhere, made up of gases that would kill me if I were ever to fall in them, makes looking at images like these, or even imagining myself standing out
Like
there
the
in
ones
space
of the
in front of
sun
these gas
scare
giants
me. You guys don't
terrifying
ever
to think
like
about. Looking at these images
God.
almost makes me
Almost
feel like something is
spilled everything
staring back
everywhere.
at me. They're intimidating. But it isn't only the huge
Intimidating.
planets that scare me. In fact, I'd argue that tininess is even more scary. And that's what we are. Tiny. This is Earth as viewed from Saturn, taken by the Cassini
wait, I
Space
have a
Telescope.
question. So, what is the purpose? You guys know, like, how almost everything in the world, like in the earth, has purpose, right? So we have trees, give us shelter. Water we drink gives us hydration. Earth, like even there's a reason for volcanoes and why they happen. There's a reason why hurricanes happen. There's a reason why all these like earth things happen. Like they pretty much know everything, right? Pretty much, besides in the ocean, that's a whole nother thing. But what are the purpose for these like planets? Like why were they created if it was created by God or by like a higher power? Why? Why? To fill the void of space? That might be something. Like we know why clouds, right? We know why clouds are a thing. It holds water, precipitation, all the. What are the purpose of the planets? The ones that we can see. And maybe even that question extends to the one beyond. Like there's a belief that like everything exists to kind of like serve humans, right? There's that belief, and I think it may even be like a biblical belief that like everything was created for us. Yeah, there's a large ocean we have not discovered. What's the purpose of anything? We should have an what is it? A nihilist day. That's a crazy hole to go down, but I'm so down. I love all that stuff. Like people that just don't believe in anything, they believe like life is just kind of like a big mess, that like everything is just thrown together, that there's like no purpose of anything, and that like we're just gonna die one day. I had a phase. I have had multiple phases. Like why? Why? Is it just for us to marvel? Is it like old? You know how old the universe is? We're like, what did it help shape our earth? Like
That's us. That's all of us.
look at
Every
our blue
memory
little
you've ever
dot.
had, every human that has ever existed, every
at
feud
that.
between
Teeny
countries,
tiny.
all of human history, and everyone you love or have ever heard about anywhere has all been here. It's no wonder then that people say we should send politicians to space
I have
so they can see
chills.
the
I
Earth
have
as it is,
chills.
an extraordinarily tiny ball in the middle of nowhere.
That's my
Many
Horton hears a
astronauts, in
who.
fact, report their
Watch
outlook on
that
life
movie, y'all.
changing
Horton
after
hears a
seeing
who.
Earth as such a small, fragile sphere, especially those on the Apollo missions. One of the Apollo astronauts, Edgar Mitchell, has a quote relating to this that I really like. From out there on the moon, international politics looks so
That's how
petty.
I feel.
I will never know the feeling of looking at Earth as a tiny ball in space, but looking at these images is the second closest thing to that. It really
Like I feel like when you get into like astrology and you really just start putting yourself like out, like you elevate your mind outside of like things that are going on every single day. You elevate your mind on like you just have like such a high in the sky, in the space, that like these little things that happen like every day, it could be like you stub your toe or whatever, like something happens, are just so minuscule. Or like even the things that are like political and like the red versus blue, like I told you guys, like all of that really means nothing. you know, like these little things, like, you know,
Really
it's insane.
emphasizes how tiny we are. And a result of just how small we are is also our fragility. Space is hostile. We can be hit by a gamma ray burst or a rogue asteroid
Oh God,
come in our
gamma ray.
direction, and we couldn't do anything about it. I think that concept alone contributes greatly to my astrophobia. We are simply at the mercy of the cosmos. The size of the universe is vast, of course, but it isn't just the solar system and the planets in it that scare me.
It looks like an
there are
eye.
many exoplanets that we've discovered that I'd argue are even scarier. Like the
Wait. Let me know. Is there a belief, guys? I have this belief, right? Like kind of like Horton Hears a Who, but a little bit different. I feel like we're a part of a body, like that we can't see. You know how like our cells in our body and like all of our molecules and organisms that like in our gut biome and like everything has its function in our body, but like they don't really know. I don't think cells have consciousness, but they do. How do they know what they have to do? Like to take the toxins out of our blood, for example, or like our liver and things like that, and it just like functions. Like what if we're actually a part of a body, like a not necessarily a person or a human, but like think of like all the neurons in your brain and stuff, and like the way that they look like planets, and like the way that your eyeballs look like universes. Like what if we're a part of something? Yeah, but I'm saying like a part of something that's alive. You know what I'm saying? And maybe we're looking at like in perspective like dead cells, you know, like cells die in our body, kind of like stars die, and then they're like the energy is like all recycled back into our body. Mind blowing.
exoplanet Gliese 436b. It's a planet around the size of Neptune. Its surface is covered in ice, yet it orbits only 2.5 million miles away from its host star. Now, that might sound like a lot, but for reference, the closest planet to the Sun, Mercury, is nearly 36 million miles from the Sun. Its surface temperature is 882 degrees Fahrenheit, and yet it's still made completely out of ice. It's due to this phenomenon that the ice in Gliese 436b is constantly on fire. Yes, you heard that right. Literal burning ice. The reason the ice doesn't melt is because of the immense gravitational pull from the planet's core, which prevents the water from evaporating away from the ice.
These are like AI
and
images.
this burning ice isn't even the weirdest part of the exoplanet. Because of its high concentration of hydrogen, we would expect to see significant levels of methane in the atmosphere of Gliese 436b. But paradoxically, we see that the planet has 7,000 times less methane than it should, and has a significant amount of carbon monoxide instead. It's a planet with burning ice and poisonous air. Not scary at all. Another exoplanet that triggers my
Yeah, like, yeah, not necessarily a celestial being, right? Like we're a part of something bigger. Like I said, if you watch Horton Hears a Who, like you'll get exactly what I'm saying. Is like, you know, like we're a speck. Like this guy just showed us a picture of us being like teeny tiny, like from Saturn's POV, and it's like literally tiny. But then when you come into our Earth, we have microscopic things. Things are like the size of an atom. And if you like pull back, like you can't even see the Earth in the Milky Way. And if you pull back even more and they show you like what the universe looks like, or at least our perception of what a universe looks like, it literally looks like an eyeball, like an actual, like you guys have to look up these images. I hope he puts them here. But like, I don't think we'll ever really be able to perceive the entirety of anything because we don't belong. Like our equipment and our technology can only go so far. Like we don't belong. Like you know, like we don't belong elsewhere. Like we would be nothing. You know, if it was like Horton Hears a Who, you wouldn't even be able to see. And there's oh god, I could really go deep. But I'll just play this and I'll cook up a way to say everything.
But more specifically, my astromegalophobia is the planet J1407b.
So we read on
These planets
exoplanets.
better names. Saturn is to me the scariest planet in the solar system because of its rings.
Molly.
But Saturn has nothing on J1407b.
Or at least like
For
that's
reference,
what,
this is Saturn,
makes sense to
and
me.
this is J1407b. This exoplanet is hauntingly scary for me. First of all, the planet itself is nearly 10 times the size of Jupiter, which is scary enough, but the rings are what really get me about this
The
exoplanet.
rings.
They are 150 million kilometers across
I got
one
chills.
side to the other.
I got
For some reference on how
I have
gargantuan that
chills.
that is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. I can only imagine how terrifying floating next to the planet's rings would be. Seeing how far they go out, the fact that something like this is even allowed to exist, the fact that space can make these huge things
That's what I'm
is
saying. It's just
terrifying.
insane.
But what's even more scary is the thought that this can go even further. After all, we can only see our observable universe. And even then, the farthest exoplanet we've ever observed is 27,000 light years away. The observable universe is about 94 billion light years across. And that's only the part that we can observe. There are probably billions, if not
Rocks.
trillions of other
Yeah,
exoplanets that we haven't discovered yet with even more mind-bendingly scary properties.
Whoa.
But we'll never know what those properties are. We will never research, find out, or understand trillions
That's
of
what I'm saying.
exoplanets simply
Like,
because of the size of the universe.
I don't think we're meant to know.
But even
And it always comes back to that with me. Like when I'm watching all this and that's how I was able to like pack up nicely, like when I was really into space and like reading daily about updates and like getting to know all these terms and things like that. And kind of understanding how we get these, images and things like that is like we got to be okay with the fact that we'll really never know. And that can be deeper. It can be like purpose, right? Like, okay, then does that mean we have a purpose? Like, how is it that in the earth, like everything has an order? There's like a food chain. There's like survival of the fittest, like seasons and everything is like clocked by time and math and just like literally everything. Like how does everything on earth have an order, a divine order, but then just like the universe exists and we don't know why? Yeah, and that's what goes back to my belief of like, okay, like we don't really know what earth looks like, because how could a human eye perceive something that large? Like, how could our human eye perceive something that large and vast? Like, you would have to be everywhere all at once to be able to perceive everything. Like what we look at is like not it's two-dimensional. And then that's what gets you into like quantum physics. When you're in deep to where you're in quantum physics like research, and basically how they tell you that light particles are alive. It's like, and then you're just like, what is actually real? Like everything is our perception. All the types of civilizations messed you
even in
up.
our small scope of exoplanets,
Oh, we should have
still
an
see
Egypt
terrifying
day,
things,
Nephilim. We should
like
have
the
a day
exoplanet
with all of that.
HD 189733b, a planet with wind speeds incomparably faster than the ones on Earth, and a planet that rains literal glass at high speeds. It doesn't even need to be an exoplanet. Uranus and Neptune rain literal diamonds. The planets in our universe are a big contributor to my astrophobia, from the biggest to the weirdest to the most hostile. But when it comes to weird things in our universe, planets simply cannot compete with the fear that I feel for black holes.
Oh, black holes.
Melanoheliophobia
Oh,
is
yeah,
the
that's
fear
what
of
gets
black
you into, like,
holes.
quantum
I
physics.
definitely have this fear. There is no doubt in my mind.
Wow.
The thought of falling into a black hole is something that, at least to me, is one of the most horrifying things I can think of. On top of that, the sheer size that some of these black holes can get to is crazy, and plays into my fear of them. This
look
is
like
TUM
eyeballs.
618, the largest black hole
Literally
we have ever
look
observed.
like
This
the
monster
iris.
is 66 billion, yes,
Oh
billion
my
with a B,
God.
times
Look,
larger
we're just
than
a
our own
speck. You
sun.
can hardly see it on your
Remember all that
screens,
talk
y'all.
at the start of the video about how big the solar system is? Even beyond Neptune, the Oort cloud of asteroids
Oort
still
cloud.
stretches much farther than the planets. So it's surprising to find
Insane.
out that
I'm actually feeling
11
it.
solar
I'm feeling
systems can
scared.
fit side by side inside of Ton 618. I don't care if you don't have astrophobia or megalophobia, but that is still a terrifying thought. But the appearances of black holes especially really gets
right there,
me.
the bending of
The
light.
way they're just a menacing point of darkness, being
Getting
massive enough to
swallowed up
consume
into
solar
one.
systems if they really wanted to. All of this combined makes black holes
Wow.
insanely terrifying and intimidating to me. But it isn't only their
And they're
appearance.
perfect circles.
Black holes are the scariest object in the universe, mostly because they're just so confusing. We know close to nothing about them, not even light, the fastest thing in the universe, can escape their pull. They're so fascinating, yet so horrifying. They have a menacing aura to them, along with how mysterious they are. Another thing that I think contributes to the fear of black holes, and really the fear of gas giants like Jupiter as well,
Scares
is that there isn't a
circles.
surface. Nothing to stand on. Just a void.
You're so
Something
funny.
that scares me even more than that is what happens when you fall into a black hole.
You
If
would
you
never.
fell into a
You
regular
wouldn't
black
even
hole,
be anything.
you would die
You
almost
be
instantly.
nothing.
However,
So
if you-
the Earth is that small. Compared, you guys saw what they just compared. The Earth is literally a speck next to these black holes. Imagine just a plain old little human. Like it wouldn't be a event. It would be nothing. It would just be nothingness. That's exactly how they describe black holes. No one would see you go in, no one would see you go out. Like think about how so tiny we are and how powerful this stuff is. Like you guys are scared to get zapped by like the outlet or something, or by lightning outside. The amount of like power and energy that these things contain and harness, and like ultimately it's a balance. Like everything is balanced.
if you fell into a supermassive black hole, you wouldn't die at first. You would instead fall into eternal darkness for a few hours and then die.
The Earth,
But as
I
this
mean,
happens, due to time dilation, time gets so warped when you're in a black hole, the entire life cycle of the universe goes by while you fall. This happens for several complicated reasons that would be way too long to talk about here,
trypophobia.
but just that concept. Everyone you love, humanity, nay, reality itself, would be gone in a matter of hours. You would travel to the end of the universe and never come back. Knowing all of this, it baffles me how more people
we
aren't
wouldn't be
scared
there
of
in the
space.
first place though, because we're
It's
so
not
tiny.
just
we could
the
never
celestial
get so
bodies
close
in
to
the
one
universe
like that.
either. It's the universe itself. The size of it is mind-boggling, and the formations of celestial bodies that can come from it is even more so. Seeing things like galaxies, these gigantic buildups of billions of stars, with the Milky Way alone having 100 billion stars, they are so huge that it takes light between 100 to 300,000 years to get from one side to the other on an average galaxy.
That's insane.
But
like,
even average-sized
that
galaxies
is
are
crazy. Do I have trypophobia? I really don't like holes, like in things. Like I don't like holes. Like my mouth will start salivating. Like I don't like holes and stuff. I never have. But one hole, no. Multiple holes, yes. Like it can literally make me sick. What's a yeah, Earth is just tiny dot compared to yep. You would you would freeze. You wouldn't be like our bodies are not meant for that at all. To be in space at all. I'm pretty sure we would die like pretty like instantaneously if we didn't have like astronaut suits, which I am still so skeptical about that stuff, guys. There's a theory out there that I put some thought on and I've never been able to fully think it out. That there's like a super strong barrier around the Earth, right? So there's like the sky barrier, then there's one more, but then there's one more after that that we haven't been able to break through, that they've tried to nuke the that layer of the atmosphere, and that we haven't been like successful in doing so. Like, and that's why when you watch rockets go to the spaceship, they curve, because they don't actually go out. Like they don't actually like Just think about the weight of gravity that's holding everything, buildings, water, our sea. Think about how heavy the water is and the ocean and like the trees and the buildings. Earth's pressure and like gravity is strong enough to hold all of that together like this. We think like a teeny tiny like little rocket can like pierce through the veil. It still doesn't make sense to me. Like it doesn't make sense unless they were successful in getting a hole in our outer atmosphere, and they're like using that hole that they created, or if there are holes. But if there were holes, we would be sucked in. It would transfer us to another. I believe in dimensions too. I think there's like 9 dimensions.
Behemoths in space, containing tens of billions of stars. Clearly, galaxies are huge. And that's what you would think. But of course, like most things being compared to the size of the universe, galaxies are nothing. Look at this image. Aside from these 2 single stars, every speck, smear, and tiny bit of light that you can see in this image is an individual galaxy. Every single piece of light that you see in this image, from the largest to the smallest, is an individual world harboring billions of stars and near trillions of planets, with all types of weird properties and possibly even life. However, they're just so far away from us that we would never know. We would never know if there were life on any of these planets, or what strange properties they have. We can't look at all of these planets. We can't see all of their stars, or be amazed at each individual black hole at their centers. The farthest man-made thing, the farthest signal that we as a species exist, Voyager 1, hasn't even left our solar system yet, and won't do so for between 14 to 28,000 years. NASA has a really cool section of their website dedicated to seeing exactly where Voyager 1 is right now and exactly how fast
They're
it's
only
moving.
46 years
It's a neat
out.
little webpage, and it lets you know how
God.
truly small we are in the face of even our own solar system. And to think, our solar system only makes up an extremely small fraction of our galaxy. Just knowing that, knowing the true scale of galaxies, and then viewing an image like this one, really puts new emphasis on our place in the universe.
Like if we use our scale,
But of course,
if we use like our scale of microscopes that where we even see like atoms and stuff like that, we wouldn't be able, from that far, we still wouldn't be able to see us. You know what I'm saying? Like that snapshot of all those galaxies, if we had this Earth's strongest telescope, no, not telescope. If we had the Earth's strongest microscope, okay, that where we could see atoms, okay, we wouldn't be able to see life form. Like we wouldn't even, like we couldn't wave outside and be seen. Like we would maybe see like a tiny speck of an Earth. That's why I'm saying, like, are we nothing? Actually? But how is it that everything on Earth is so organized? It almost feels like there is like a divine intervention. Like it feels like someone planted Earth here in a way. It's one or the other. Either there's no purpose or there is.
this isn't the limit. Our galaxy exists in what's called the local group, with the Andromeda Galaxy and many other dwarf galaxies. This local group is 10 million light years across. However, compared to other formations, galaxy groups are nothing. Let's look back at the galaxy image. The galaxy image and images like it only make up a small percentage of formations known as galaxy superclusters. We are currently inside of the Virgo supercluster, a gargantuan formation of galaxies that is 110 million light years across. Look at this image for a second. Every single dot in this image of the Virgo supercluster is an individual galaxy. If we choose to zoom out further, we would see the Laniakea supercluster. The Virgo supercluster is only a small, tiny fraction of what makes up the Laniakea supercluster. Just like entire galaxies in the Virgo supercluster, the Virgo supercluster is a mere smear inside of the gargantuan Laniakea supercluster. But of course, we're still not done. The Laniakea supercluster is yet another unimportant piece of the titanic puzzle
Does
that is the
anything
universe.
really matter?
Big thing after big thing turns small when comparing it to the scale of the thing above it. The observable universe itself contains 10 million superclusters just like Laniakea, with hundreds of thousands of galaxies.
Like, how do scientists that are like around this information like function like normal human beings? I feel like knowing this stuff and having it at the top of your mind can really like mess with like your humanity. Like, I don't know. Like, imagine, I mean, knowing all this, how we're practically nothing, we're just stardust, and we're over here stressing about stuff. Like, you kind of detach yourself, like people that, if you could get really obsessed with this stuff and really, it could really affect like your value, even in like relationships and stuff like that. Because like if your head is in like the freaking, if you think with the perception that like we're essentially nothing, not even a speck, because you can see specks, like you can't even see us, like you can't, it's just insane. And that's what I'm saying, like to think that there's no other like life, like what if there's a twin earth, and there probably is, like it's just crazy. And what if it's all dimensional? Like dimensions are a whole nother thing that go into quantum physics.
In each
but
one.
We'll just
Now
stick
I
on
ask
this
you
topic
once
today.
again to look at this image. These are all galaxies.
Insane.
Vast galaxies. Expanses we can never escape, and places we can never reach. And yet, are reduced to cosmic jokes when looking at the observable universe. And that's just the observable universe. We don't know the size of the actual universe, but for all we know, it could be infinite. This fear of just how large the universe is
take my
falls
vitamins.
more into astromegalophobia than it does astrophobia. But astrophobia still plays a large role in my fear of the expansiveness of the universe. It's huge, sure, but we have no clue what could be hiding inside of it, and because of that, it triggers my astrophobia significantly. And despite the fact that we can only see a small amount of what there is to see, we have found so many weird things in the tiny fraction of the observable universe we can see. Weird exoplanets, black holes, galaxies, and yet, if we are to believe that the universe is much bigger than just the part we can observe, then what could be out there? What could be lurking in the places that we can't see? This thought alone
does it even
is one that's
matter?
terrifying and brings a lot of questions. What we know is out there is already scary enough, but not knowing what is
Does it
truly
even
out there
matter?
is to me even scarier. Which leads us to a question. If we've been able to map so much of the universe and detect stars and astronomical events from billions of light years away, then how come we haven't found anyone else? Why haven't we seen any other life forms? Despite the fact that any intelligent life that
We
could
are
exist
life.
has had
We-
much
that's
more
why I'm
time to
saying we're
prosper
part
than
of
we
something.
did. After all, the universe is 13.8 billion years old, and there are trillions of Earth-like planets within the habitable zones of their stars. So, where are all the aliens? This realization and the question it asks is called the Fermi paradox, and we don't have an answer to it. Maybe the universe we live in is so hostile to life that no other life forms formed except for us. Maybe the universe was never meant to harbor any life. Earth is the only place a human can survive unaided as far as we know. We can't breathe in space, nor can we breathe or live on any of the other planets that we
Nope.
find. This is mostly because we are what's known as a subtype 1 civilization. This way of classifying civilizations into types is called the Kardashev scale, proposed by Nikolai Kardashev in 1964. It's a way of ranking civilizations based on how technologically advanced they are. A Type 1 civilization is capable of controlling the entire energy output of their own planet. A Type 2 civilization can control the energy output of their entire planetary system. A Type 3 civilization can control the energy output of an entire galaxy. And Type 4? Multiple galaxies. We are currently at around 0.73 if you were wondering. If any Type 3 or Type 4 civilizations did exist, they would be like gods to us, but we would also most certainly notice them by now. But the reason that we haven't might be due to all of the things I've talked about in this video, from the expanse of space to the hostility of exoplanets. it can be hard for life to exist in such a hostile universe. So it could be the reason why we haven't seen any alien civilizations yet. If so, that's terrifying. The thought that not only is space a scary and mysterious place, but we're the only ones here to experience how scary and mysterious it all is, in my opinion, even worse than if we knew that there were others like us, experiencing the beauty and the horror of the cosmos. But it's even more scary knowing that no civilization can truly develop in a place like this without eventually dying out.
What if there's a civilization that has beings the sizes of mountains? Like, they would never be able to come to Earth. Like, what if their spaceship was the size of, like, an ocean? Like, trying to, like, we would be like ant organisms to them. Like, we wouldn't even matter. We couldn't hurt them. There's nothing of ours that they want. And it's so possible. It's so possible. Like, what if there were like ocean beings, like, you know, made of like water and energy, and like our form of life is just so different from something else. All right, I'm gonna skip this section. I'm gonna go to sound.
Outer space isn't just visually scary and a source of existential
the space
fear
sounds,
and dread.
guys, space sounds.
It's also an auditory wonder as well. I bet most of you have heard the term, "in space, no one can hear you scream." This claim is telling the truth.
Oh, you didn't want me to skip? You want me to go back? Don't skip? Okay, you guys are into it? If you're into it, I'm into it. I don't want to bore you, like,
or
too
Type
much.
4 civilizations did exist, they would be like gods to us, but we would also most certainly notice them by now. But the reason that we haven't might be due to all of the things I've talked about in this video. From the expanse of space to the hostility of exoplanets, it can be hard for life to exist in such a hostile universe. So it could be the reason why we haven't seen any alien civilizations yet. If so, that's terrifying. The thought that not only is space a scary and mysterious place, but we're the only ones here to experience how scary and mysterious it all is, in my opinion, even worse than if we knew that there were others like us, experiencing the beauty and the horror of the cosmos. But it's even more scary knowing that no civilization can truly develop in a place like this without eventually dying out. Either we are alone in the emptiness of space, or we will never become a spacefaring civilization. Both options don't seem good for us. Despite my personal opinion being equivalent in importance to that of an IGN reviewer, I personally think that aliens do exist. If so, the fact that we don't know about any yet really puts the size of space into perspective. The fact that there is so much distance between us and a possible alien civilization truly shows the sheer size of space. Even with technologies that can look billions of years into the past at distant quasars and black holes, we still haven't found any other life. The universe's size holds us hostage and keeps us from finding anyone else. But it hasn't kept us from trying. Currently, on the Voyager 1 spacecraft, there's a golden record. It contains information about humanity, just in case any alien civilization or even future humans ever found it. The record contains 116 images, along with audio and video recordings of humans, music, and animals, and greetings in 55 different languages. The record itself is made of copper with a golden cover, and some uranium-238, so that smart aliens can analyze the half-life of the uranium and figure out when the message was sent. On the cover are a couple of things.
Wow, that's
Instructions
so
on how to play the
cool.
record, along with a pulsar map that shows where Earth is, along with the hydrogen hyperfine transition
That's like
unit
us
definition,
trying to
which is just a
decipher,
fancy
like,
way of trying to find
ancient-
common ground between distances, along with instructions on how to play the video portion of the record. Along with all of that is a recorded voice message from the then President of the United States, Jimmy Carter. This is what it says. "This is a present from a small, distant world. A token of our sounds, our science, our images, our music, our
Oh my God,
thoughts,
it's almost
and
like
our feelings.
emotional.
We are attempting to survive our time so we may live into yours. We hope someday, having solved the problems we face, to join a community of galactic civilizations." This record represents our hope and our determination. and our goodwill in a vast and awesome universe. There is something eerie about the message. Just the concept of shooting something out into space with information about us as a species, having no clue where it ends up. It's kind of like the outer space equivalent of yelling, "Is anyone there?" in a dark forest. It's also a message with an unknown recipient. We have no clue what aliens look like, how they talk, if they're even based on the same molecules that we are. How
Likely
do
they
you find
wouldn't.
common ground with a life form far different
Like,
from your own?
there's probably beings
well,
that are like
we
literal
tried our
just
best to find that common ground. But then the
light.
scary question arises.
I don't know.
What if we are sending the message to no one? What if there's no intelligent life to receive our message, not even
Aw.
in billions of years? Well, if that's the case, then Voyager
It would
1
be
will
teeny
travel
tiny
alone,
microscopic.
carrying some of the only evidence that
Imagine.
humanity has
Or it
ever
could-
existed into the cosmos.
That thing that we flew out
only
into
for
the air
nobody
can
to ever find it. The
literally
record
be someone's
will
asteroid.
exist for billions of years, with absolutely no one to listen to it. Outer space isn't just visually scary and
Yes, I did read your previous message, but when we're on topics, I try to stick to it. Hope to catch stream. I'm not at work on Saturday or Sunday. That's good. Happy to see you back here. Hope you're doing well. Are you still vibing on Fortnite? Or are you tired of it? And most people in my chat are tired of Fortnite. Hence why we're watching, including me. Hence why we're watching some space related stuff.
a source of existential fear and dread, it's also an auditory wonder as well. I bet most of you have heard the term, "in space, no one can hear you scream." This claim is telling the truth. Not only are you likely far away from civilization and people, but you quite
yeah,
literally cannot hear someone scream through the vacuum of space. It has no molecules for sound to travel through. Despite this, we still know what space sounds like. How? Well, space might not have any sound waves, but it does have other waves. We can then translate these other waves into sound waves and hear what different
See,
things
that's what
in
I'm saying,
space
like, we
sound
can't-
like. And
our
they are
human
equally
ears
as
can't-
terrifying as the visuals of space, if
Like,
not more.
We can't
We can hear what the
perceive
planets of our solar system
sounds
sound like, along with many other things.
that are so
and they are
massive.
chilling, to say the least. When the Cassini space probe paid a quick visit to Jupiter before it went to Saturn, it stayed just long enough to record a bit of Jupiter's sound, and it got this back from Jupiter.
Sounds like birds.
It bodes an uncanny resemblance to what birds sound like here on Earth, but something seems off about it, almost like Jupiter's pretending to sound like Earth, like a monster imitating the cries of a child to lure its victims. It's freaky knowing that no matter how scary the planets of our solar system look to us, they always sound just as scary. Then, there are the sounds of moons. In 2021, a space probe was doing a mission around Jupiter and made a flyby by Ganymede, a moon of Jupiter, and recorded some audio of the moon. Pitched down to a level where humans can hear it, it sounds like this. It's chilling. It sounds almost like a distorted recording, but it isn't. That's just the sound that Ganymede makes. However, the sounds of space go beyond the solar system, and even beyond solid astronomical objects. A NASA space telescope named Chandra studied the Perseus galaxy cluster. It detected ripples through space, not much different from ripples in water. Scientists determined that these ripples were produced by a supermassive black hole. Whenever a black hole eats something, it spits some of that thing out. The thing being spit out pushes around nearby gases. Translating these gas ripples into sounds shows us what a black hole eating something sounds like, and it sounds like this. The original frequency of this black
Has anyone in the chat ever heard like crinkling sounds coming from the sky? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? So I used to hang out around. I used to hang outside a lot around. I used to hang around outside a lot as a kid, like literally in my front yard, down my street, like just literally outside, in front of my house, like I don't know, listening to music on my iPod or whatever. One night, my mom wasn't home, And I was just like, I just used to ride my bike up and down the street, whatever. And like it was around 8 o'clock, something like that. And I just hear like metal bending sounds coming from the sky. Like literally like it literally sounded like a band of like trombones just like bending. Like I don't know how to describe it, but it was a sound coming from the sky. Like actually coming from the sky. And I was terrified because it wasn't stopping and it was so loud. And I'm just like I'm looking up the news. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Is there a crash? It's like a continuous like car crash for like over 30 minutes. And I'm telling you, this is an actual like experience. I would never like try to fake this, but I was so scared that I blew up my mom's phone, like thinking that like we were possibly gonna die or something was gonna. And I was on nothing. Like I wasn't tripping or like nothing. I was just a kid, and and yeah, like it was terrifying. And then it went on, and then it just went quiet. I was so scared, and I told my mom, like, Mom, I don't know, like, there's something in the sky, like, literally literally panicking. And I'm like, can you go outside? Can you hear this? I even posted, I think back then it was like MySpace. I could probably pull it up. I was like, did anybody hear like weird sounds coming from the sky last night? Like, what is going on? Like, what's going on? And I've heard it like other times, but there's like sounds that come from like the universe, like that it break through or like that like ripple through our like sound barrier. And I look up articles on this stuff, and other people have heard it or experienced it too, and it's just terrifying. Like, and that's just sounds coming from our sky. Like, just imagine being out in space and literally hearing a black hole like freaking consume something. It's terrifying. It's just so much power, and it like, you know what I'm saying? It just makes me feel like we're like measly like little human beings. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're nothing against even like Earth's powers either.
Black hole
Like,
audio
it's
was
insane.
low.
But yeah,
Very low.
that happened.
To understand how low, let me put it into perspective. The recording of the black hole sound needed to be pitched up by 288 quadrillion times in order to be heard by humans. The sounds of space are both interesting to hear and interesting to gather, and to me, can be just as scary as the visual universe. I think that, despite the scariness of space, astrophobia is a bit of an irrational fear. There really isn't much of a threat present here on Earth, and even the cosmic events that can affect Earth are usually never brought up in discussions of astrophobia, which is why
Like, what if one of our probes that we send out into space actually like hit another planet that's like small, like an asteroid? Like, you know, like it's this size to us, but like something else. And I'm saying in billions of years, and then they think it's just like a random rock from space, but no, it's
I think
actually
media that
something that we
explores
sent out.
astrophobia is important, because it actually gives you a reason to be scared of the universe, as you're actually partaking in it. The world of video games in particular can really trigger astrophobia, but even those don't scare me as much as VR space games. Games like No Man's Sky and Elite Dangerous are PC games at heart, but both have a VR port. I won't talk much about No Man's Sky because it's more of a caricature of space trying to be a fun game rather than a real simulation of what it would be like to explore the cosmos. Elite Dangerous, however, is the exact opposite of this. Especially in VR, it really provokes a real, accurate simulation of what exploring space would be like. And it is as awe-inspiring as it is terrifying. If you had a spaceship and could access the entire Milky Way galaxy, where would you go? It seems like an uncomplicated question, but not everyone can answer it.
I don't
There's
think I would
simply
go.
too much to explore and too much to see. Elite
No-
Dangerous
anything that we
gives you this
learn over there
experience.
doesn't impact their
It's a
lives
space
anyway.
simulator type game that simulates flying a spaceship around the Milky Way. And by the Milky Way, I mean the entire Milky Way. The map is literally the size of a galaxy. It's insane. I love Elite Dangerous in VR. I wish I could say I love just Elite Dangerous, but I really think this game is meant to be experienced in VR. On flat screen, it's a game about grinding for materials, getting into fights, and selling things. A true simulator game. But in VR, it's way more than that. It's an awe-inspiring, yet terrifying example of the power of VR and the true terrifyingness of space. Every time I exit warp drive and see a star in front of me, or every time I explore the rings of a planet larger than I can imagine, I feel truly intimidated. If you have astrophobia, then I recommend this game? I don't know. It feels weird recommending a game like this to someone with astrophobia. It seems almost counterintuitive, but for me at least, the amazement and the wonder of space is enough to justify being jump scared by every star I visit. And it's only helped by it being in VR. Grindy tasks like mining asteroids turn into wondrous and awe-inspiring experiences. Traveling between planets in a system turns from a momentary boring detour to a pleasured experience. In the vast expanse of the cosmos, we not only find profound objects and unsolved mysteries, but we find ourselves. A reflection of humanity that glistens from each star above. A reflection of our curiosity and our lust for the unknown. Astrophobia, to me at least, is not just a fear of space and celestial bodies, but the fear of the unknown. In the search for meaning in this universe, we've come across many other things that elude us, and we ask many questions. Why are we alone? Why is there something rather than nothing? Why is the universe built this way and not some other way? And maybe we'll never know the answer to these questions. Maybe they're meant to be left unanswered. I said earlier in the video that the fear of space is irrational, but I take that back. I think the fear of space is one of the most rational fears out there. From the visuals to the sounds, the questions, and the concepts of our universe, astrophobia is a representation of what we as humans fear most, the important questions and the unknown. But now more than ever, we are forging a closer relationship with space. With independent companies making spacecrafts and landing on planets and plans to colonize Mars, astrophobia will most likely persist for generations to come. We might be scared of space, but we can't let that fear define our relationship with the universe.
If I was offered an opportunity to move my life away from Earth and go to Mars, I would consider it. I don't know if I would make a decision, but I would definitely consider it to be like one of the first like a human colonies in America, and I was like chosen first because I'm like whatever. Like if they pluck somebody with like pure like, you know, for example, somebody from Ireland, someone that has Chinese, like, you know, most Chinese people are like 100% Chinese. Like they would just pluck one person or one, you know, a female, male of each. That'd be crazy. And like you were married on Mars, or like you were like in an arranged marriage. That would be like an insane show.
Use our fears as a catalyst for exploration. A lens
like
for which we explore the cosmos.
To
and I feel that this
everything.
image is one that describes our relationship with space well. Taken by the James Webb Space Telescope, it depicts what looks to be a cosmic question mark floating through space. Although it's probably a distant galaxy or something, our relationship with space can be perfectly summed up by it. A never-ending series of questions in an infinite and awesome universe.
We're not supposed to know.
And I'd like to end this video with a quote from one of my personal heroes, the late Carl Sagan. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. It is our choice whether we approach that something incredible with fear or with the boundless curiosity that defines us as a species. The universe is waiting, and the stars are our guide. The final frontier beckons, and it is up to us to answer the call.
Yeah, I feel like everything in science is like measured. It's like a math. I don't feel like anything actually, like for example, like just like they name planets like X1-18b or A, like just like they give names for everything out there that they find, or they like mark like, okay, this is a planet, this is a star, we'll call it this. Like everything in science is made up too, just like numbers and time, and it's just mind-blowing. Yes, and I do believe this. Yeah, quantum immortality. That like when we die, like this invisible light leaves us and goes right back into the earth. And like the earth has just as much energy as you were born when you were born and when you die. You just like borrow it. The sounds gave you goosebumps. Anyway, that was it for that video. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe. That was a really well made video. I don't know if they're gonna take my I don't know if they're gonna take my stream down, but maybe not. I don't know. My stream down. Maybe not. But that was very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, let's just add it right now to the stream. Thank you for that very interesting video, sir. You're probably not going to watch this back. You're probably just going to take it down, but thank you for that video. Very good. He got the ominous music. Yeah, no. He got the ominous music. He got pretty much everything. Guys, like the videos I've been doing have been popping off. That's really good. I love it. Disrespectful IRL streamer now facing 31 years in Korean prison.
Things are now absolutely terrible for the disrespectful IRL
Yeah, we
streamer
watched
who's now
this on the
stuck in
stream the
South
other
Korea
day.
because he just got hit with another deepfake charge,
What's a deepfake charge?
which adds an additional 10.5 years of potential prison time in South Korea, which means the grand total of prison time that he's currently facing is 31 years in a South Korean prison. And he just admitted all the attention he's currently getting isn't even worth it anymore.
In the long run, do you think that it is worth it?
At this point, no.
So he got his 5 minutes of fame. By the way, no brand deals. Most people know this guy's name. Bro, people are crazy. Killing for fame. Johnny Somali. Wait,
Most
oh my god,
people
can you
know what
shush?
he did,
But
but
you
you'll
shush. Okay, I'll just let it play because it just doesn't want to Killing for fame dash serial killers dash mass murders are relatively new. What is he talking about? This type of thing never used to happen. To get you. What are you talking about? Is this? Oh my god! I swear, some people are so dumb. Like, actually stupid. Like, actually cannot put themselves out of any, like, their own thinking to be able to try to understand what other people are trying to say. Like, they will warp literally anything. This guy is saying, like, it's obviously subjective when I'm saying what people used to do. He doesn't know if I'm talking about the 1700s, the 1800s, the 1500s, the cavemen. He doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is the serial killer phase, okay, in the United States specifically, where people would murder people to become famous, like to be on the news. Is that not understandable? Like, does that not common sense to people? Like, hello? Anyway. I really just want to send these people to hell, honestly. It's so annoying. The type of people that will, quote, do anything to get out in there in the 1970s are egomaniacs here to do it for popularity and to be on the news. I don't understand what's so hard to grasp or apply common sense to what I'm saying. When I say back in the day, I don't mean the Victorian era or cavemen. Oh my God, some people are so dumb. Like literally. Oh my God. Or the freaking Ice Age. Stupid. What's up, Contour? Yeah, he's very interesting, Jowl. What are we talking about? The type of people that will do anything to are even if you look at the do it for popularity and to be in the news. I don't understand what's so hard to grasp or apply common sense to what I'm saying. When I say back in the day, I don't mean the Victorian era or cavemen. Like, please, oh my God. So annoying. Most people know him as, okay, that might be the last time I'm going to respond to any of these idiots. Jolly, calm down. Weren't you saying something about liking booty holes earlier in the stream? You need to calm down. Anyway, but yeah, y'all. That's what we got. That's what we got. All right. Yeah. I mean, I'm allowed to be annoyed. That person was annoying. Like, people just want to, like, be annoying. It's like go to Twitter and argue with your mother. Like, leave me alone. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I mean, it's Friday. Shoot. Tomorrow, are we doing more Reddit topics? What do we want to do tomorrow? Any ideas? Such a cute skin. SML rewatch. Reddit and gaming. Well. I totally took it myself. This is cool. Sombrero Galaxy. That's cool. Looks like a Mexican hat. No, I'm not going to watch that garbage. It gets like all the brain rot kids. Like that's the brain, you know, like Italian brain rot. That's like literally brain rot. We live in like 10. Not my messy desk. This is such a good selfie, y'all. Hold on. I need to take some more. Everyone go follow me on thingy. Does this even link to my thing? Yeah, it does. It is 100% game rot. Brain rot, not game rot. You mean like old SML? Give me a PG. Well, it's not about it being PG. It's about it being so cringe. It's cringe. All right, let's check on Twitter before I go. All right. Darth Vader swearing has been patched. Official statement. We pushed a hotfix immediately and this shouldn't happen again. Wait, he was cussing? Oh, what is what? Oh, it's a piece of glass. Oh my God, that's so sad. TikToker Valeria Marquez was shot and killed while streaming from her beauty salon. I saw that. Oh my God. Like, people are so jealous of beauty, youth, and potential. Like, there's some crazy crazies out there that'll literally do nothing. Or this could be a freak accident. I kind of want to know more. What is the story behind this? Okay, look, Rock answered. The story behind this is a heartbreaking post, is a real gut punch. Valeria Marquez, a 23-year-old Mexican TikToker and beauty influencer, was gunned down in her own salon in Guadalajara while live streaming to her fans. She was just sitting there chatting away with a stuffed toy in hand when a guy apparently on a motorbike stormed in and shot her multiple times. The whole thing was caught on her TikTok stream, which only stopped when someone grabbed her phone to end it. She had a decent following, nearly 200,000 across platforms. Dang, so if I die, this will happen. Will I be on the news? Not that I want to die, I'm just saying. Across platforms, and was known for her makeup and beauty content. Cops are investigating it as a femicide. Meaning it's someone that just hates beautiful women. And there's a manhunt on the murder, but no word yet on a motive. The mayor of Zapopan, where the salon's located, said Valeria hadn't reached out about any threats beforehand. This is a brutal reminder of the violence women face in Mexico. Things like this hit hard. Dang. Rest in peace. She's beautiful. All right, what is this? Oh my God. No. It'd always be the nice cars that do risky stuff. Like almost every single person that drives a BMW is a legit a-hole. Sorry, but it's true. They feel like they own the road, like they're entitled or something. Oh, what in the hecky? Regarding what allegations? Oh
Setting
my
up
God.
events that I'm guaranteed to win. I'd like to address the allegations.
Ludwig.
Over the years,
I'm done. Clickbait. I'm already done. I watched the Minecraft movie last night. I didn't expect it to look so fake, but it was good overall. Oh my God, these ice baths. I heard they're really good for you. What? What's the mod? Get the mod. Oh, this is exactly how I like the pizza, man. I love my pizza well done like that. That's like, ooh, so good. How long can you last in a room with 100 chickens if you were given $10,000 for each day? I would stay for like a month, and then I'd be like, all right, I've had enough. Walk on eggshells when talking about Miss Kiff. Ugh. All right, this is, oh my God. Dude. I've been getting destroyed by this stupid card in Hearthstone. They found a way to do 2 of these. IShowSpeed started a Last of Us marathon stream before remembering that he already finished the game 2 years ago. What do we got? Oh, that's interesting. What is this?
Darth Vader is the low tape. Okay. Kinda have to, bro. Darth Vader is the low taper fade meme still massive.
Ninja, your fascination with fleeting trends is curious. Does it provide a tactical advantage I am unaware of?
Fleeting trends. It's over. It's done. It's dead.
It's dead.
It's dead in the water. It's gone. Oh. Okay.
Darth Vader said it must be true.
Kinda.
I like Ninja. He's so funny. I love watching him rage. He's so funny. I actually like Ninja. I'm a fan. And I like how he just does his own thing, and he took a risk playing Marvel Rivals, and I'm so glad he's getting recognized by them, and he can expand his like career beyond Fortnite. When he was playing just Fortnite, he was like miserable. What is this? Oh god, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. What? Is this true? The music! GG's. GG's to today's stream revenue though. The 49 cents. GG's. Oh god. Do we want to hear Darth Vader being racist? No, I kind of don't. What in the heck? Ew, yes, I've watched this actually. Molded tuna. I don't know. Y'all just really walking on the border. Oh. Oh, this is interesting. I like this. I like this stuff. I think I would actually figure that out. Like, I would be able to unlock it. Some people would be like, hey, don't be. Cool. Oh. Oh, that's so people don't hit their head. He thought he was getting the ball. Oh no. What is this? Wait, antebellum. So apparently the original owner of this place owned 150 slaves. And now it doesn't even look like a real fire. That looks like AI. That looks like AI. Is that real? What? Whoa, it's real. I don't know. I don't believe in burning down history like that. Yep. Alrighty, y'all. I think that's all we got today. I didn't see anything else that was of any interest, really. But look at Poochie. He's so cutie. Hello. The people love you. All my 5 people in here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. We tried a specific topic day. Maybe we'll have a brain rot topic day and see if we get some more of you guys. People like dragging slaves, like forget it. No brain rot? No brain rot. Dino's like, yes. SML. Oh, the baby. Are you coming here so I can squish you in front of all the people? And we love you. Come. Look at my boy. Look at him. He is so beautiful. He's a boy. He's just a man cat. Right? We love you, Pooch. He's literally the cutest cat in the universe. Only true besties go through brain rot. No, I was joking. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Let's get the hammies out. You may or may not see me on Marvel Rivals. Should we turn up in the Discord? Is anybody on Rivals right now? Should we turn up in the Discord? 1 for yes, 2 for no. We turning up? All right, I can turn up for a few rounds before it gets too late. The hammies. Top hours. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna figure out a way to get more people in here. I did post today on Twitter and on Instagram. I don't typically post anywhere, but since I'm starting this new direction, maybe more people, maybe next time I post about it, I'm gonna do what topic we're talking about so people can tune in and give their takes. All right, so it looks like tomorrow's gonna be Reddit. We should we do Am I a Narcissist Reddit, or should we do like something specific? Let me know in hot topics, guys, if there's a specific Reddit direction you want to go. We can do a confessionals route. We can do like an advice, like someone like an advice. I would have to filter what we stumble across. So, and then I'll pull it up and then I can open it up and then you guys can see, we could discuss it. But yeah, we have to be very careful on Reddit because there's a lot of people putting like fake stories that are sick, that talk about all different topics that I'm not comfortable with, kind of like, anything that has to do with like trauma, like people's trauma, if you know what I mean. Don't want to talk about those topics, but something like more lighthearted, maybe around friendships or something like that. Alrighty, y'all. Here, the hammies. Everyone put W's in the chat for today's stream. Okay. W's in the chat for today's stream. W's in the chat for top hours. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys, today. Thank you so much, Travis, for 2 months of being a moon. Shout out to Galactic, Dino, Molly, Naki, Retro, Focus, BMW, Trent, Vontae, and Edie's for making it to top 10. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and kind of just enjoy my time doing what we're doing here, and let's just see where it goes. Okay. Thank you guys for being patient with me, sticking by on the stream. I hope you guys were entertained, or you learned something today, or you didn't understand half of what. Oh no, Pushy! Leave Luna alone. What's wrong with you? He literally bit her leg. Hello? Anyway, I gotta go separate the cats now. Love you guys. I will see you back here tomorrow. You fell asleep? Oh, you did, girl? That's good. That's good. If I'm happy if you guys are falling asleep. Not even joking. That means that you feel a sense of like calm. And I do that to everyone. I feel like everybody sleeps around me. Anyway, love you guys. Bye.